without a doubt, by far, the largest body of anime I've ever had to cover in one of my recap videos for a season. I knew summer was going to be a big season. I was preparing myself for summer to be a big season, but this is insane. Not only do we have top anime that I actually want to talk about, but there's some potential hidden gems at the very bottom that actually seem kind of interesting. And I want to watch all of it. I literally want to watch all of it. And while I can't watch all of them because you know there'll be a god amount of anime to watch, we could go ahead and at least talk about it and give my prediction on how I think it will fare this season. Which also kind of sucks because when you think about it, if all these anime were just better spread out and not stacked in one season, a lot of these anime that actually look fun, creative, and genuinely interesting are probably just gonna go into waste time and never talked about again. But you've heard me ramble for long enough, so how about we go ahead and jump right into the summer of 2025 anime. But before we get into this video today, I'd like to talk about one of the partners that we have for this channel, and that partner is Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink that prides itself in trying to be a different brand, as it has zero sugar, zero maltodextrin fillers, zero artificial flavors or dyes, no secret formula, and no hidden types of ingredient. So everything that you get with Dubby is going to be a healthy option. And to help with that healthier option, they add vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic that helps with the little noggin, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. All of that packaged together super well in a powdered energy drink that they try their best to make taste as unique as possible. So anything that you taste from Dubby, you're definitely not going to be tasting anywhere else. And I gotta say, my current favorites right now are the Japanese soda flavor and the California mango cream, because my god, those two are damn near delicious. And the tubs that they offer on their shop come down to $1 per drink, which means you're gonna get a better deal than you would ever get at Starbucks or ever going to the store and getting a canned energy drink. So with the healthy additives, the better cost, and the better taste, Dubby is a perfect option for any gamer, content creator, or whatever you do out there. No matter what you do and no matter what activity you partake in, Dubby will always be a good option to go for. And trust me, I don't want to be somebody that pushes on an ad to you guys that I wouldn't use myself. And I have been partnered with Dubby for a while now, and it's a shame that I have not pushed them as hard as I have, because I have used them as a quick alternative when I'm in a rush or if I need just a little bit different to not give me the jitters whenever I drink my coffee. And Dubby has been a perfect additive and a perfect substitute. Not to mention their community is one of the best that I've ever been a part of. They collaborate with small creators, they have a bunch of collabs with other creators to make tumblers and special drinks. Honestly, Dubby not only is a good product, but is overall a good company. So go ahead and get yourself a tub of Dubby today. And you know what? If you click the link in the description or in the comment section, go to that little referral link on your checkout, use code Kurosaki to get 10% off your order from your boy right here. Thank you, Dubby, for being a wonderful partner of this channel. Now let's get back properly into the video. Oh my god! Is that one of the best anime couples finally coming back for a season 2? Boys, we have returned with Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have been patiently waiting. We have been holding on to our breaths that sooner or later the season 2 of My Dress Up Darling were coming back to us. And I can say that at the time of this recording, we are only just a few days away from greatness. My Dress Up Darling was definitely one of the first animes to really kick off my journey into romance. I've made a top 10 romance anime list before, and obviously I have stuff that I've watched before, like Skippy and Your Lie and April, but there was something about My Dress Up Darling that just made me want to explore the genre, and up to that point, I didn't watch it for a couple of years. I was stuck with various other things. So getting a season 2 after I've already consumed a bunch more romance anime, and I fell in love with the genre, with shoujos in general, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to jump back into peak. I'm so ready to jump back into one of my favorite couples in anime, one of my favorite dynamics in all of anime, and I am so ready to be just happy. I'm ready to be happy. Also, I feel like this is the most appropriate place to honestly say this. Rent-a-Girlfriend fans, I know for a fact that you are struggling right now. And if you're here to think if I'm going to talk about Rent-a-Girlfriend, hop off the video right now. I'm not, because I saw what the fuck the most recent chapter was. I'm not reading that shit. Just come over and watch My Dress Up Darling, or Nagatoro, or just anything else. Please, save yourself from the embarrassment and just watch something better. Watch something fantastically better. The next anime on the list is Dandadan Season 2, and Maybe I'm just crazy. Does anyone feel like that this season came out like wickedly fast? I mean, it came out so fast, I initially thought it was actually a second core to the first season. But no, they're treating this like a second season, which honestly, that's what you should be doing in the first place, because that's the proper way to do things. But regardless, I am genuinely excited to watch Dandadan Season 2. I mean, the first season was insanely good with great animation and awesome character writing. The story was really fun to watch, and honestly, I thought it was a breath of fresh air in the shonen genre. You know, if it could have some questionable moments. Given the trailer, it seems like the wackiness and the insanity is only going to keep up from here. So again, I'm all here for it. I've said it a time and time again if you're following this channel. I love insanity. I'm gonna bring it up a bunch of times in this video because insanity anime is good. I love the crazy shit. The crazy shit's fun and the crazy shit's entertaining. So Dandadan fits the bill. It fits the bill perfectly. So obviously, it's going to be something I'm most likely going to watch this season. Just hate the fact that everything is on different streaming services and it sucks. What? I'm so happy I don't have to wait. I'm so happy I'm ready to get this. I'm hyped. I'm excited because the next anime that we are talking on the list is Kaiju number 8 season 2. I'm not gonna lie, when the announcement came for the anime, I was a little bit skeptical. I know JC staff is good, but sometimes they can kind of be all over the place, but they came out with such a banger, and season 2 looks so good, and I know what arcs that we're gonna go into in season 2, and I'm excited. In order to not give some spoilers, but also to get you guys hyped, just know that we're probably going to get a lot of development for a lot of various characters that we all like, and very new ones that are coming soon, while at the same time, we are still gonna get some of the most action-packed fighting this season. And I'm already thinking about where the season could have its finale at. There are a couple of specific points, but there is one in particular where if we go that far and we end it right there, I'm gonna be a little bit upset because it stops right at peak inside the peak. But I am so excited for Kaiju number 8. I will also say that I am still a bit skeptical on is how they'll deal with the tone going into season 2. Where it's season 1, it took more of a comical shift, where in the manga it was a bit more serious, but I think it worked to have its own charm and distinct itself from the manga. So I wonder if season 2 is still going to stick to the comedy that it was doing, if we're going to have more shticks and bits, or if it's going to climb up into a more serious tone, and that's just going to be the progression we have. Either way, I enjoy boy formats, I enjoy them very much, and I like what they do for both the character and the world, so either one works for me. I'm just curious on how they would approach it. The next anime we're going to be talking about is, weirdly enough, it's getting up there as one of my favorite isekais. I'd probably say it's 3rd or 4th, but it's Shield Hero Season 4. To be honest, Shield Hero is definitely getting up there for me in the sense of Golden Kamuy and Natsumi Book of Friends, where these anime get a bunch of seasons and they get it pretty consistently, but I never see discussion of it, and it seems like no one ever talks about them when they release. Now, obviously, I'm not that ignorant. I understand there are other places that could support like a specific anime, and Japan, of all places, could like all of these anime, including Shield Hero, which I think is the case for Shield Hero. I think it's massively popular over in Japan, which makes a lot of sense. That just means I get more Shield Hero, which means that makes me happy. And really, that's all that matters. Now, this new season is going to be so fun to see because it seems like we finally have everybody together. The whole 4 cardinals are together. Natsumi's got his whole little village with all the like beastkin, and he's ready to fight. Everyone's ready to fight, and I'm so excited. The only thing I'm not excited about is seeing that bitch again. It seems like we're seeing other lands, and it seems like they're in like a meeting room with other leaders from other countries. It seems like we're finally getting serious now about this whole, you know, saving the whole world from impending doom type stuff. Maybe we could get a little bit of that otherworldly stuff from the other cardinal heroes from other worlds that we got back in season 2, but I'm not completely expecting it, but I am still very excited to watch it. Now we finally get to one of the new anime that are coming out this summer, and this anime is going to be The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Now, this anime has been all over my TikTok. I'm talking about, I've seen little clips and I've seen little manga panels of everyone that's been posting about this, and I held back because this does look like something that I would like very much, and after reading the premise, yeah, this definitely is an anime that's going to be up my alley, but I assumed at some point it would be getting an anime, and I also had just a lot of manga I was needing to read at that time. And now that it has an anime come out, you bet your sweet bippy that this is going to be one we're going to be paying close attention to watching. I resonate so much with the idea of the story where two different worlds are colliding and they might be the catalyst for both their separate worlds coming together. I love that type of story. It gives me kind of sort of the Romeo Juliet vibes a little bit. That type of love is also just extremely powerful because when you come from two different worlds like that, you gotta really try and give the effort to put in the love to want to understand somebody. And this anime seems like these two characters are going to put just so much. It might make me cry. As usual, the level of love and the level of romance that I definitely want from my anime. So this one will definitely be an anime I am locked in for with the season. I just hope it does live up to the hype that social media was pushing out to it. I have high expectation for this going into it, so I hope it could deliver on every single one. We go back to the sequels of anime, as next anime we're going to be talking about is Call of the Night Season 2, and I just want to say this right now, I'm going to address it. My god, Creepy Nuts is coming out with like more bangers this season, man. Dandadan and Call of the Night, I promise you, are going to be two songs that you see nominated once again for like Song of the Year. I promise you that. Now, while this is on my watch list and I do tend on watching it, I'm not going to go ahead and watch it for this season, mainly because I haven't watched the first season and I've seen it around and I've been kind of hesitant because of the whole vampire stuff. And listen, I grew up in the 2000s, alright? When I watched vampire anime, it usually wasn't that good. The only one I could think about that was kind of good was like Hellsing Ultimate, but I haven't had the best track record when it comes to consuming any type of vampire and anime content. But after seeing some of the clips and actually seeing what the whole story is actually about, I'm willing to give Call of the Night a chance, and honestly, when they're giving a season 2, it even makes me want to give it even more of a chance to actually try and get into the show. Again, not one that I plan on hardcore watching for the summer, but definitely an anime I'm putting on my list to try and finish by the end of the year. Ah yes, Sakamoto Days Part 2, the second half of the first season that I, along with many other people, did not find super entertaining. Now, before you scold me, I'm not one of those people who thought the animation for the show was bad. I thought it was perfectly fine. Is it like super great amazing like a Jujutsu Kaisen or a Demon Slayer? No, but it's nowhere near as bad as anyone put it out to be. Honestly, a lot of my issues with part 1 had to do a lot with just the plot and the characters. Nothing really ended up clicking for me, even towards the end, where I was having a bit more fun with it. Nothing just seemed to resonate and catch me as other anime would. And it's not like I hated Sakamoto Days at all. It was just an anime where I acknowledge and I even see the actual quality that the anime brings. It's just everything it does is honestly not much for me. People have recommended me though to try out the manga because it seems like it's a better depiction of what they're trying to do, as this might not be the most faithful and fair adaptation. Kind of similar to how Kaiju number 8 might not be for some people because the manga is a bit more serious while the anime is a bit more comedic. It might be a situation in that regard, in which case I am willing to read the manga and I plan on at least doing some type of video or doing some type of project that type of year, or this year, doing that. But consider the part 2 watch of this basically my second attempt to try to really get into Sakamoto Days. And if I can't get into it after this season, I'm gonna try the manga and try it up to where the whole part 1 and part 2 of season 1 goes. And at that point, Sakamoto Days just isn't clicking for me, then honestly this just might not be the product for me. The anime that we're going to be talking about is a new one coming out this season, and that is The Summer Hikaru Died. Now, when I saw that this was going to be an anime coming out, I didn't actually look at any trailers or read the premise. Just from the title alone, I assumed that this was going to be an anime where someone's friend was going to pass away, and to follow them throughout the summer of them processing their feelings of their friend passing away and dealing with that as a young person, and just how that affects everybody in their day-to-day life. What I was not expecting was for this to be some type of horror anime, and the friend has to deal with their friend dead but also not dead and kind of consumed by some parasite, and everyone's dealing with that, and it also has like a hint of boy love to it. I have no idea what this anime is trying to do. I have no idea what the aim for this anime is, but to say that I am not excited to try to watch this and understand it, I was here for the feels. Now I'm here for the thrills. This anime seriously has some high potential of being one of the best anime of the season, and that is a bold claim given everything else that we've talked about so far. Maybe not best anime of the season, but if this anime doesn't at least get talked about even a little bit in some way, shape, or form, I am going to be drastically disappointed. It looks good, it sounds good, hell, it's already got me by the hook. I just hope that it can deliver on the quality that it's already shown. We already have Kaiju number 8, we already got Dandadan, and we've already got Sakamoto Days. So why not add one more of those shonen manga now turned anime into the lineup with the newest manga being turned into anime, Gachiakiuta. Now, out of the big shonen manga that actually have been getting an anime, this is the one I've actually heard the least about. I don't actually hear many people actually go ahead and talk about this one, but the people I at least do see say that it's a fantastic story, so I'm glad that it's finally getting an anime adaptation. And I will just say right off the rip, out of all of those big shonen anime that have gotten an anime specifically, Gachiakiuta looks like the one that has the most interesting world in terms of aesthetic at least. It looks really cool. I like the whole post-apocalyptic vibe that they're going for. And the eyes for the characters look really fucking cool. I'm a whore for eyes if you've been a fan of this channel for long enough. So seeing all the eyes in the trailer that glow up and have specific designs, oh, I love it. I love it so much. I will say I am a little worried for the anime because I'm not seeing many people talk about it in terms of excitement. Like, I didn't see the same attention that I saw for Kaiju number 8, Dandadan, or Sakamoto Days, so I don't know if this one is as talked about as originally thought. Maybe this is one that might go a little bit more under the radar. I'm not 100% sure, but I will be paying attention to it very closely, especially since it's made by Studio Bones, who are a fantastic studio animation-wise. So I have no doubt in my mind that we ain't gonna get some banger animation at the very least from this show. Next up, we have the new Panty and Stocking, or Panty and Stocking Season 2, whichever one you want to call it. I am excited for this because I, ladies and gentlemen, get to be a dick rider for Trigger again! If you are new to the channel and you don't know about my insane love for Trigger, Trigger Studios is one of my favorite studios of all time. They are the studio that I do believe has the most consistent body of work in terms of quality, and also probably have the best batch of original animes out there. Now, I'm not as delusional to say that they are the #1 studio. Obviously, there are studios that do far better work than them and have at least put out better work than them, but I do believe they are in the top 5 of studios, and I will stand 10 toes on that opinion. And then giving us the newest version, or the Season 2 of Panty and Stocking, just for me solidifies that opinion. But focusing back on the new season of Panty and Stocking, I am so delighted that we actually get a new season in general, given that it has been almost 15 years since the first one premiered. And this is one of those anime that has definitely become a cult classic. You don't see anybody really super heavily raving about Panty and Stocking anymore, but there are definitely memes, gifs, and other little funny clips that go around in the internet for this show all the time. This is also a show that has a personal connection to me, as it's one of the few shows that I started watching that actually got me back into anime proper. I know, that's such a weird thing to say, but this anime, along with a few others, is the thing that solidified my love for insanity when it comes to anime. This, along with stuff like Kill la Kill, I just love the over-the-top shit. It's one of the best things and one of the best aspects that you could add to almost any anime. And also, I'm glad if any studio was to pick this up again, it would be Trigger. Not because I'm the biggest dick writer for Trigger out there, but because Trigger is a sister shoot of Studio Gainax that was the original creators of Panty and Stocking. So think of it more as a passing of a torch, or more as a revival of a sense, that I think this is the only studio that can do it proper and bring back the proper form for Panty and Stocking. All of that wrapped in a ball. For a long story short, Panty and Stocking's back. It's going to be cool. Trigger's doing it, and I'm hyped for it. Next anime we're going to be talking about is Secret of the Silent Witch, and this is an anime that I've had my eye on for some reason, and I think it's just because there's been a lot of witch-themed animes that have been coming out, and while I haven't talked about any of them or properly watched them, I still talk about them for some reason. But this is another one that just looks cute and wholesome. It seems like the witch is super shy, but also super powerful, so it's gonna be not her dealing with the big bad monster, but more her going through like social anxiety, stuff like that, which honestly, it is a pretty cute premise. Honestly, I wish I had more to say about this anime, but I don't. I don't really know much about it even after reading the premise, but I hope it's a cute one. I hope it's a good one. Next anime we're going to be talking about is a new one, and it is City the Animation. And if it looks familiar to you, That's because it really should, because the same person who made City the animation, or the City manga, is in fact the same person that made Nichijou. This anime is also being made by Kyoto Animation, so you know we're going to be in for a bunch of insane slice of life shenanigans with really good animation. If this anime can bring just as much insanity and as much fun and as much just craziness that Nichijou was able to do back in the 2000s, I firmly believe that this anime, the City animation, will not just be a comedy or slice of the life of the season, but potential comedy and or slice of the life of the year. So you can already tell I have major high hopes that this one is going to be a die-hard banger. Next anime that we have on the docket is There Is No Freaking Way That I Will Love You. Unless... Now, I haven't watched a GL anime, or a BL anime for that matter of fact, in a very long time. There's not many that have interested me. I am reading a GL right now, but that one's a little bit more dramatic. But this one looks super cute and super fun, and I think this one can have just kind of like a little goofy vibe to it. I saw one of the clips of the pink-haired girl going off saying that, how can I love you if I can't even love myself? That's what I knew, boys. We are in the feels. We are in the feels with this one. We are going to be deep in our feelings, and we are going to be exploring your self-hatred and you not being able to love others to only love yourself, or not loving others because you can't love yourself. We are going deep. We're going deep. We're going deep with our feelings, and I'm ready for it. I really hope that we'll know one offline, because I really hope that this anime can explore some deeper existential stuff. I love that type of stuff, and I don't mind if it turns goofy, but don't drop a line like that in your trailer and me going in expecting maybe something a bit deeper, rather than you just shove that off being like, oh yeah, well, you can love yourself. And you're like, you're right, and just fix it. Let's explore it. Let's get deep. Let's find out why she hates herself and what troubles may lie ahead. Next anime that we're going to be talking about is Watari-Kun's Is About to Collapse. And if you're wondering why that was censored, that's because the title is censored. So I'm gonna go ahead and censor when I say the title. This is like the third anime that I expected to just be goofs and gaffs, only to have some deeper meaning. I don't know what's going on or if my radar is off, but I'm happy for this. I'm not upset with this, I'm okay with this. With that being said, Watari-Kun Is About to Collapse is the one I have the least confidence in actually going through with that, mainly because with the other two, Summer Hikaru died and There's No Way I'll Freaking Love You, unless set up the premise in a sense where it was first introduced as a kind of goofs and gaffs comedy anime, only to have there be some underlining deeper stuff to it. Not as much as with the Summer Hikaru died, that was just kind of upfront with it. But Watari-Kun's Is About to Collapse is doing the exact opposite. It is setting the premise of, oh, there's gonna be this darker meaning to it, but it's showing more goofs and gaffs rather than the actual dark premise to it. Now, this might be a red herring, it might be goofs and gaffs, and I might be totally blown away with what the deeper meaning is, or if there's something that's actually really bad that Watari-Kun did, but I don't see that way. I assume that whatever is going to be bad won't be as bad, and they'll probably get over it pretty quickly, and then he'll form a harem. And listen, I'm okay if I'm proven wrong. I don't mind when I'm proven wrong, because when I'm proven wrong, that means I get a good product. But I don't think that this will be the case. I will have my hopes, but I don't think that Watari-Kun Is About to Collapse will be an anime that will impress me. The anime we're going to be talking about is Betrothed by My Sister's Ex, and this anime kind of convinced me of something. As anime fans, we consume a lot of anime, but is there ever a story for you guys where anytime you hear the premise and it's something that you know you'll resonate with, or you know that premise, you're just gonna automatically watch it? For some of us, it might be the dark shonen type. For some of us, it might be whenever there's an all-girl band anime. For me, I have figured out that it's anytime there is a character who comes from a bad home but is saved by another character and they end up falling in love with each other. I fell in love with My Happy Marriage that way, I kind of fell in love with Two Perfect Saints that way, and now Betrothed by My Sister's Ex is pretty much that same story. Big difference with this one compared to the other two is that this one talks about that the betrothed, or the person that the main character is going to fall in love with, is the sister's ex. Now, I did read the premise. I'm not gonna spoil it because that seems like a pretty big spoiler, honestly, but there might be a little bit of drama that happens surrounding that. So that story sprinkled in with a little bit of drama, that's like my perfect dish right there. So yeah, I'm going to be watching it for that reason, because if I can get more of that story, and be happy like I did with the last 2 anime, hey, look, that's all I want in life, man, is to be happy. And if it can fulfill that for me, then I see no problems. The next anime we're going to be talking about is Cultural Exchange with a Game-Centric Girl, and this just seemed like the cutest thing ever. Not only is it playing off like the language barrier that they have as the main girl for this story. I think she's coming from Britain, and they're not gonna have her speak Japanese. They are just gonna have her speak English, which I think is really cute. The whole mistake happens where, I guess from wherever she's from, which I assume is Britain. I don't know if in Britain they do this, but apparently I guess when you give a gift to someone on Valentine's or something like that, it's like a proposal. So she's just like, yes, I'm gonna make you mine, which is just the cutest. It's just the cutest mix-up of all time. I also really like the art and the eye design and just the whole entire design of the show. It's made by Studio Nomad, which I guess this will be the first time I watched anything from them, because I tried looking through their catalog and I have not seen a single anime from them, which I guess is less uncommon given that there's so many other studios that are popping up and making new stuff. I'm not surprised by that, but it's going to be interesting exploring a new studio for the first time. Next anime we're going to be talking about is With You in the Rain. Listen, I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I have no clue what this anime is about. I have no clue like what this anime tends to do, what it's trying to do, what story it's going to tell. I got 0 indicators. But it looks cute, and it has a dog, and it has a pretty woman. Do I need to say more? Do I really need to say more? Can we just move on to the next anime and just agree that sometimes just a cute dog and a cute woman is enough for some of us to just pick up an anime? Because it is for me. So I'm gonna move on, and just, that's what this is. And you're gonna accept that. You will accept that. The anime that we're going to be talking about is Introduction into Mineralogy, and yes, I did pay attention to this because of the trailer with the booba scene. Sue me. But I can promise you the reason I picked it up is not because of just I want to watch Big Booba Girl. Anime like this always try to explore the way to explain the thing that they're talking about, and they usually tend to find a pretty fun way of doing it. 2 anime that I could think of that do this really well. One, which probably everyone's already heard of, is Cells at Work, which is an anime that explores the anatomy of the human body and how that works through anime characters. And the other one, which I can promise a lot of you probably haven't heard of, is Takonomi, which is an anime that explores beer. And it's an anime that, it's just 3 girls that live together that talk about the specific history and how to pour beer and like the whole process behind it. But it is a genuinely fun time. So I hope that it can do that same thing, exploring the whole world of mineralogy through some fun aspect or through some shenanigans that hopefully would also educate us in the same time. Now, I know this anime is also probably going to get a lot of hate because it's made by the same studio who's also making Mushoku Tensei, and this studio's doing this, they're probably not working on that anime. Now, to be fair, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I know that there are certain studios that will have A teams and B teams, or specific teams working on other stuff, so that studio might still be working on Mushoku Tensei and that at the same time. That's entirely possible. But also, even if they weren't, not every studio can survive off of just a couple of anime. There's only very few anime that have done that, and the 2 that come to mind for me is Peridot, which Naruto and Bleach, and Toei Animations with One Piece and Dragon Ball. But those are also 4 of the biggest shonens of all time that are still popular till this day, which are anomalies within themselves. And even then, those studios still do other things. Like I said, not every studio is gonna just do one thing. So I hope that this anime doesn't fall under any form of Mushoku Tensei hate, because that's completely undeserved. Let's just try and enjoy this, because this might be a cool anime for all we know. Next anime we're going to be talking about is Detective These Days Are Crazy, and emphasis on the crazy because this just looks like a bunch of shenanigans that are happening. Now, I will admit, that's kind of the only reason I'm picking this up. There's not really much else that is grabbing me other than like a couple of goofs and gags that the anime will have. Again, I love insanity, but you can't survive on just that. So, will this be a fun watch? Probably, but nothing else is really coming out to me. So, just a super quick entry. I'll probably check this out. Don't know if I like it. It might be kind of meh, might be kind of mid, but it might be also just a kind of fun whatever watch. Next anime that we're going to be talking about is Nyaight of the Living Dead, and this has to probably be the most creative thing I've seen from an anime in a bit, honestly, where it's a Night of the Living Dead parody, but instead of it being a zombie apocalypse, it's a cat apocalypse, and where if you touch a cat or it rubs on you, you get turned into a cat. And there's not necessarily anything special from these cats. that I am aware of yet, but these are what seemingly are normal cats. And that is amazing, because everyone is reacting like it is a zombie apocalypse, like they're about to die and they're all freaking out. They're making these bunker plans to hide out and they're going out to ration for food. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of cats. It's just a bunch of cats. It's just a bunch of cats just roaming around doing shit. And I don't know if the cats necessarily attack people. There are a couple of scenes where the cats are raining from the sky and they're going off in a stampede down the street. But I don't know if they're actively attacking people or if they're just doing a cat thing and just, you know, being around people, just trying to get attention, trying to be, you know, normal cats. It's definitely something I have to watch. And I really hope there's not any extra stuff that's layered on it. I really hope it is just maybe some freak virus that just makes normal cats infectious and, you know, affect humans to the point where they just turn into normal cats. I really hope that's just the premise, because that sounds fucking awesome. Next anime we're going to be talking about is See You at the Food Court. Again, this is another one of those, hey, it looks pretty cute, so might as well pick it up. Not much to say. I do like the premise of two worlds meeting at a place just to share their own interests, though every episode just might be them talking about their premise. I doubt it'll go any further than that. We probably might have like one little dilemma type thing, but it won't go any further than that. But the premise is still pretty cute, so I'll go ahead and just put it on the watch list because, well, why not? Next anime that we're going to be talking about is Hotel Inhuman, and I have this on my watch list for two specific reasons. One is that the premise of this anime pitches that the two main characters are going to do everything and anything in their power to make their guest experience at their hotel a perfect one. So I want to know how far they are actually willing to push that premise. And second is just a little bit of a goofy reason, just like the reason that we've been having all the witches anime been talked about. It's the same thing with, for some reason, every anime this season for this year, we've had a hotel themed anime. Winter had Takasori Hotel, and spring had Hotel Apocalypse or Apocalypse Hotel. And so adding Hotel Inhumans just kind of seems right. I'm still debating if I want to add it onto the weekly roster anime that we're going to have for summer 2025, but that's still up to speculation right now. But because it's an anime that talks about a hotel, and we'll be seemingly talking about a lot of animes that have hotels, we're definitely putting it on the watch list in general. Next anime that we are going to be talking about is Kamitsubaki City Under Construction. And yes, if you are wondering, it is in fact that it is a music anime. I have said it before, there are a bunch of triggers that will just make me automatically put stuff on a watch list. And honestly, we've had so many already. Music anime are probably the biggest one, because at the very least, if we don't get that great of an anime, we are going to eventually get good songs. So if we can get good songs from a good show, that's good, but I'm also willing to get good songs from a bad show or kind of mid show. I am definitely not expecting this anime to wow me, and honestly, I'd be surprised if the anime just turns out to be okay in general. But this is a music anime, so I feel like with my music-loving heart, I have somewhat of an obligation to at least add it onto our watch list. Next anime we're going to be talking about is, oh my fucking god, this doesn't have an English title. Binan, Koukou, Chikyuu, Bouei-bu, Haikara. Sure. Now, when I first checked this out, this looked very similar to Cute High Earth Defense Club, which is a very similar presence to this anime right here. So I thought it was a spin-off or sequel, but I haven't found anything to indicate that. So it just might be its own separate entity. The other reason I look so hard too is because I swear that Cute High Earth Defense Club was getting like a season 2 or some extra spin-off thing. I don't know if I could have found it anywhere, or I don't know if I just made that up in my mind, but it's very similar, so why not give it a shot, right? Putting it on the watch list because it's cute boys doing magical girl stuff. That's always a win in my book. And the final anime that we're going to be talking about for summer of 2025 is Necronomico and the Cosmic Horror Show. You know, for a show that's so low on the list, this actually looks kind of fire. Or at the very least, it looks wacky as shit. There's probably going to be some intense stuff happening. I assume some sort of death game that the main character is going to have to play, and some betrayal that we get hinted a little bit in the trailer. But honestly, the fact that I'm this interested in anime that barely anyone, if not nobody, is talking about, dude, this might be a hidden gem of the year. It's weird, I usually don't have things this low be my gut pick choice, the one that I assume just I'm gonna like out of no basis whatsoever. but there is actually a lot of basis for this. Like I said, it looks wacky as shit. The colors are vibrant. The characters look like they might get into some intense type of death game or some type of wacky shenanigans that happen. It looks like a fun show. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll add this show on as our final anime for 2025. And after a very, very, very long time deciding what 10 anime we're going to be reviewing for the summer, and yes, it was long. There were actually quite a lot of things I wanted to watch, but there are some things, honestly, I just feel kind of obligated to watch at this point. But we're going to go ahead and pick the 10 anime that we will be reviewing weekly for summer of 2025. And the 10 anime we're going to be reviewing weekly for summer of 2025 is My Dress Up Darling Season 2, Kaiju number 8 Season 2, Dandadan Season 2, Shield Hero Season 4, The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, Sakamoto Days Season 2, The Summer Hikaru Died, Gachiakiuta, and new Panty and Stocking. Now, usually I don't do this because I usually have to struggle to actually pick 10, but in case anything decides to falter or things become hard to watch in that point, or if there's an anime I just really don't want to watch anymore, in the first 3 weeks I will be putting a substitution rule where these 3 anime can replace any of the anime in the first 10 list in the first 3 weeks if I see fit. And those 3 substitution anime are going to be City the Animation, Nyaight the Living Cat, and Necronomico and the Cosmic Horror Show. What's good? It's your boy, Mise. I realized that was 9 anime, not 10. So, hey, I get to use one of my substitutions early, which is good, I guess. So, we'll just move City the Animation up into that 10th spot. And replacing that in substitutions is going to be Introduction to Mineralogy. So, yeah, I had to do this post-editing because I realized that I did not do that. And when counting it and looking at the video, I was like, oh, I only put 9. That's 9. So, yeah, sorry for being stupid. The first time I'm ever doing this, and it honestly seems pretty fitting given the fact that I've changed this list numerous amount of times. There are multiple versions of this list that have a bunch of different anime. So by, the 3rd week, which we follow the 3-episode rule in this household, if there's an anime that deems worthy of substitution, then we will go ahead and make that substitution, like I said, if it's fitting. But of course, let me know if there's an anime that you are very interested in watching this season, or if there's an anime you think I would be interested in watching out of this entire list, or something outside of the list I didn't mention. Make sure to check everything in the description. Check out Dubby, they're a wonderful partner of the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. I am tired, this is a long video, and I am going to take a shower because it's hot. Goodbye, good luck, and fuck off!
I'm like so gay.